Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 72 of the Talk is Cheap show. Hope you're all well, healthy, and COVID-free. Thanks to everybody for tapping in. Truly appreciate your support. Yet again, we've got another great show ahead of us today, in which we're going to be reviewing Arsenal's last games. What's been, let's be honest, a very good week for Arsenal, on the pitch anyway. We'll also preview Arsenal's upcoming game at the weekend against Fulham. But before we do all that, let's start with one of my favourite parts of the show. It is my pleasure and honour to introduce to you today, in the house, the suave, the snazzy, the sophisticated, the scholarly, the studious, the self-confident and self-assured, the soulful, the spiritual, the statuesque. He's sharp. He's a showman. He's got swag. He's a social media superstar that sets the gold standard for football influencers across the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big digital round of applause for Curtis Shaw of Curtis Shaw TV in the house. What are you saying, bro?
Oh, yo, that could be the best one, you know, I'm telling you. They get better every week, man. Man went with all the S's today. I love that, man. Yeah, and when I walk out the house, man's got me feeling like, you know, prime Thierry Henry, bro.
You know what? It's funny because I actually got stopped in my local supermarket the other day in Enfield, and I come up to me and he's saying how much he loved the channel and how much he loved the shows. And he mentioned our show. He says he tunes in regularly. He goes, where do you get them intros from?
Yo, man.
Said, it's just a lot of fun. But you know what, man? Enough respect to Curtis. He comes on and he gives his honest and forthright opinions each week. And people seem to love it, man. So
yeah,
it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. But so listen, bro, just very briefly, tell the people what you've been up to. I mean, I know there's been a busy week away from Arsenal with the AFTV and stuff. Gyms have opened back now. I guess you're doing other bits and pieces. Tell the people a little bit about what you've been up to, bro.
Bro, it's just that sense of freedom, innit, man? Being back in the gym, you know, sometimes you don't realize how much you miss these things until they're taken away from you, man. But yeah, man, back in the gym, working, my son's playing football. It seems very busy when you've just been sitting down for the past 3 months, you know, whatever. So yeah, but happy, man. The sun's shining, you know, so just looking forward to the summer and stuff. So yeah, busy, but you know, happy that we've got some freedom at last.
Yeah, I can see you got that radiant glow.
Bro, I got the shape up. I was straight in the barbers, bro. Like, come on, I'm looking like a Rasta man before that.
Yeah, it's good. And also, the AFTV FC game didn't go to plan at the weekend.
No.
We won't delve into that too much because there's other forums where people can go and watch that. But tell us a little bit about that, bro.
Look, it was a bad day at the office, man. Obviously, the week before, we got a great win, got into the cup final. I mean, it's hard to put your finger on what went wrong, but I think it was a bad day at the office. It happens in football, man. We just got to bounce back this week. But yeah, let's just hope it was a blip, man. You know what I mean? Let's hope it was just a blip.
Yeah, I think it will be. I can't think we won't play as bad as that 2 weeks on the trot.
No.
Okay, bro, let's crack on then. So let's start with Arsenal's last couple of games since the last show. So again, it was the 2 games in 4 days, given that Europa League commitments. We'll just start briefly by looking at the Sheffield United game, away to Sheffield United. A lot of people said it was going to be pretty much a foregone conclusion. That's pretty much how it played out. 3-0 win, 2 goals for Lacazette, 1 for Gabriel Martinelli. It's good for him to get on the score sheet. So just briefly, bro, what was your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, it was a good win. Sheffield United, I mean, obviously they're already relegated. They look like mentally they're just, you know, exhausted. I didn't speak to McGoldrick this week. He's got a lot on his mind at the moment, but you know, they were poor. They were really poor, Sheffield United. I thought they'd make it more difficult for us than they did, but I think they're gone. You know, they haven't even got a permanent manager in charge. We done what we could do. Like, you can only beat what's put in front of you, and we did it convincingly. I was delighted to see Martinelli playing. Thought he did well. Pepe did well. Lacazette. Great little assist from Ceballos, quality one from Partey. And we done the job, man. We done the job. Obviously, in the build-up to the Europa League game, it was job done.
Yeah, of course, we've got a new left back in there as well.
What, Roberto Xhaka, I'm calling him now, the Brazilian Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did well in his new role. We're going to touch on that. Yeah. You know what? Let's get into things now, man. The second game. So, listen, the second game is an all-important second leg of the Europa League. Quarterfinal against Slavia Prague. We spoke extensively about the first game. Didn't go that great. It was 1-1. Performance was pretty flat. So there was a lot riding on this game. It was pretty much all or nothing in this game. We needed to get the right result. And the backdrop to this game was mired in controversy as well. What with a lot of people know by now, Slavia Prague's previous tie with Rangers, there was the allegations. There's probably a bit more than allegations, to be fair, against the Slavia Prague player, Ondrej, what's his name? Kudej or whatever. But anyway, one of their senior players. And he ended up getting a 10-game ban. That was announced pretty much on the day of our game against Slavia Prague. So there was a lot riding on this game, wasn't there? And then, of course, we had what I would term a pretty half-hearted apology by Slavia Prague. And then we had some ludicrous statement by a Czech government minister who basically accused UEFA of hypocrisy and pandering to the whim of, social activists and stuff like that. Completely out of touch with the problem, that had been generated by Slavia Prague's players. But hey, so there was that backdrop. So there was a lot of pressure on Arsenal, really, going into this game. And so that set the scene. And then, of course, before the game, we had the taking of the knee. What did you think of Lacazette with his taking of the knee in the centre circle, facing up the Slavia Prague players? I thought that's quite a poignant moment.
Bro, you know me, man. I'm on the similar wave of thinking. I'm all about that. When I seen Laka do that, I was like, yeah, man, come on. That's what time it is. Do you know what? I watched that game, and before the game, I felt like we would win. I honestly did. I'm not going to say for 1 second I thought it would be that comfortable. I was shocked at how comfortable it was. I watched Slavia last week, and I thought, you know what? They're nothing special. They're nothing special. We didn't play great last week, but we still had 3 or 4 clear-cut chances to beat them. And I just thought, look, man, if we can take our chances, we'll get the better of them. I mean, their goalkeeper. I mean, I called him Mankind, the wrestler, but every time he got the ball, I thought he was going to fall over, bro. I'm like, listen, just pepper this guy with shots. He's not that good. And, I mean, number one, you've got Aubameyang, obviously comes out, he's got malaria.
Yeah,
You've got the fact that these guys, obviously with all the racial issues, refusing to take the knee, player banned and all that, and it's a quarterfinal, your whole season's riding on it. If you as a team cannot get motivated for that, you might as well just leave the club. So I think the players responded in the right way. They did their talking on the football pitch. I think sometimes Arsenal players do too much talking on social media, man. So it was good to see them do their talking on the pitch,
I must say, I touched on it earlier, when Lacazette did that knee in the centre circle like that and faced up the Slavia Prague players, and he had the other guys behind him taking the knee as well, that kind of gave me confidence when I saw that, because I saw a team that at that moment was together. They looked like they had a purpose. Obviously, they're playing for the club and they're playing for Europa League spot, which was vitally important. But to see that togetherness in that moment, that gave me a lot of encouragement. And so I started to feel a bit more confident when I saw that, funny enough, because I have to say, I'd spoken to you in the lead up to the game yesterday, actually. We spoke, and I'd said to you that I was hopeful, but I wasn't wholly confident. Even though Sheffield United, let's face it, pretty easily at a canter at the weekend. I knew that this Czech team, despite what you want to say about Kudela and some of their other guys, they are a decent team, especially at home. But I don't think they'd lost for 2 seasons. So there's so much riding on this game, and the pressure was very much going to be on Arsenal, because let's be honest, man, they're expected to win and win comfortably. And I've seen us slip up in the past. I mean, let's face it, we beat our previous opponents, Olympiacos, at home. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there was a lot of pressure going into this game. So yeah, man. But in terms of the team selection, I mean, we heard with sad news that our captain, our main man and main goal scorer, Aubameyang, he's been diagnosed with malaria, and indeed he's in hospital. So on behalf of myself, yourself, everybody here at AFTV, we wish him a speedy and full recovery. But
yeah,
that did kind of take me aback a little bit, but then it kind of explained a lot of the recent events that was going on and some of the conjecture, lurid speculation that was going on before. It kind of put everything into perspective.
yeah.
What was your thoughts on that, bro, when you heard about Aubameyang's malaria contract?
I mean, obviously it's terrible news. Apparently he contracted it on international duty with Gabon. And I think, you know, a lot of people have had a go at him this season. And, you know, I think a lot of circumstances have affected it. At times he hasn't been good enough. We can't deny that. But, you know, you think this guy's probably had malaria for the last couple of weeks. He's been back over 2 weeks from international duty. So he's been playing with this virus inside his body. And, you know, it's a serious illness. It's not no joke thing, you know what I mean? So I think that would have spared the players on even more. I know if I was a player and I saw my captain, I'd be like, listen, man, let's win this game for the skipper, man. So, listen, I just hope he comes back refreshed. He said in his statement that he believes the doctors have caught it early enough and stuff like that. But yeah, there was obviously 1 or 2 rumors going around that, oh, Aubameyang's got flu. Obviously, this rumor went round that him and Arteta are not getting on very well. Then it was flu. All the conspiracy theories were like, no, it's not flu. You know, he doesn't want to play. Is he the new Mesut Ozil and all this? But it put a lot of those rumors to bed. And listen, hopefully in the next couple of weeks he's back on the pitch, you know, and like you said, get well soon.
Yeah, I mean, the news that it contracted malaria, the only positive you can take from that is that, like you said, it laid some of those rumors and lurid speculations to rest a little bit. You know what I mean? We can see why now that he didn't play on Sunday and why he's perhaps not been at his best form. Yeah, we wish him all the best. And yeah, let's hope he makes a full and speedy recovery. Because I do remember, just on that, just briefly, a number of years ago now, when Didier Drogba was playing in the Premiership, I think he went away on international duty with the Ivory Coast. And he contracted malaria. And I remember reading an interview and he said it sapped him of a lot of his strength and energy for a long time. So it actually stays in your system for a long time. And so, and we're living in a world of virus at the moment. So we know how damaging these things can be. You know what I mean? They can cause long-term effects. So let's hope and pray that, he gets well soon, man. And he's back on the pitch doing what he does best, scoring for Arsenal, man. So, yeah. Okay, so in terms of the rest of the team, and the team selection, were you happy with that?
Do you know what? I'm going to be totally honest, right? I did a watch along yesterday, and I came back in, I saw the team. I had to grab a beer, bro. I'm telling you, I don't really drink. I looked at the defense and I said, okay, Granit Xhaka, Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, Pablo Mari. That has got to be one of the slowest Arsenal defenses you have ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? But to be fair to them, you know, like I say, I can't knock them. They did the job. But the defense worried me a little bit. I thought, wow, that, you know, if they've got any pace, they could trouble that defense. And obviously Ceballos in midfield, he's been very inconsistent. He did play well against Sheffield United. But obviously one thing that I was delighted with was to see Pepe playing. It's a player me and you have spoken about many times and defended. And what I was pleased about was, in our biggest games this season in the Europa League, he's been dropped. I'm pretty sure he didn't play Olympiacos home and away, Benfica, or Slavia Prague in the first leg. So that tells Pepe that when we have our biggest games, the manager doesn't trust him. That's what it would tell him as a player. So for him to get that trust, start that game, you look at the performance he puts in as well, and you bear in mind that last week he came on for 20 minutes and changed that game and scored. I thought, you know, let's hope this is a massive turning point in Pepe's career, because I think he has improved his attitude. I've seen a lot more determination in his game, a lot more work rate, and he's starting to produce now. And I just want to see him get a consistent run of games in the team. And obviously Lacazette, Saka, Smith Rowe, they were superb as well. But yeah, I was happy to see Pepe in the team.
Yeah, very much agree with you on that. Like you said, us on this show, man, we've been long-time Team Pepe. We've been saying, listen, man, give this guy a run. He's got something about him. He's got that kind of mercurial talent that very few players, if any, in the Arsenal team have. He's brilliant in those little tight situations. And when he's switched on and when he's motivated, and he goes past players for fun. And he's got those little bits of trickery, and he can finish as well. On one-on-one situations. I've seen him do it a few times this season and last season. So, yeah, man, I've been crying for this guy to get a run in the team for a long time. It looks like it's happening now, and I think that's a great thing. Not before time, in my opinion. But I was glad to see him in from the start. He deserved it, and as we're going to go on to talk about, man, he was pivotal in an excellent display. So let's go to the game itself then. So we had a goal disallowed after about 10, 15 minutes. Smith Rowe won. What did you think of that? Did you think it was offside?
I mean, when they showed the replay, man, it's probably centimeters offside, but you know, this VAR now, so it is offside, but it was very, very tight decision, you know.
I must admit, we had a watch along as usual, and when I saw it, I did think to myself straight away that he looked a little bit offside. And then when you saw the replay, he definitely was offside. But you know what? Fair play to Arsenal. That didn't deter them. A couple of minutes later, man. 18 minutes. Pepe in on goal, chips the keeper, 1-0. We started really strong, didn't we? Really fast. The players look energetic. They look switched on. They look motivated. Like I said, whether it was anything to do with the backdrop to the game, and the stuff in the centre circle with the knee and all the rest of it. But I did see a different type of energy about Arsenal in the way they started that game that I quite liked. Fair play to them and the manager for, coming out there and being switched on from the start. So Pepe, excellent goal, 1-0 up. We're looking sharp, we're looking good. And in 21 minutes, Saka, he pops up, man. He gets brought down. Lacazette converts a penalty UV, so that's 2-0. 24 minutes. Saka, great play by him, great individual goal, that's 3-0. So we're going at the game half-time 3-0, and you're thinking, yeah, man, not even Arsenal are going to throw this away now.
No.
Although I did sort of, when we went in at 3-0 up, I was kind of thinking back to the West Ham game, because obviously that happened in reverse, where we went 3-0 down.
Yeah.
And then we came back to draw the game 3-0. Now I was thinking to myself, surely not, we're gonna, the game is gonna be on point, and we're gonna, come through and with flying colours, because that first half performance deserved it. And again, to be fair to the guys, we came out in the second half and we basically took up from where we left off, didn't we, really, in terms of the play, dominating the possession, looked the better side. And then 77 minutes, Lacazette completely puts the game to rest with his second goal of the night. We go on to win 4-0 and win the tie 5-1 and aggregate. So, Curtis, what was your overall thoughts on the display?
No, man, I thought it was a fantastic display. I think the manager, and the players, they deserve credit for that display. Like I said before, with the Aubameyang malaria, with the racial issues, with the fact it's a quarterfinal, I think that would have given the players that extra, 10% to just that motivation. Do you know what I mean? To carry yourself through the game. And it was the quick start. And I don't think Slavia Prague could cope with us. And like I said, last week we had chances without even playing well. So that's why I felt confident that we would beat them. And having watched them, honestly, not being disrespectful, I don't think Slavia Prague are anything special at all. I really don't. But like I said, you've got to beat what's in front of you, and we beat them well. I thought Smith Rowe was, the assist for Pepe's goal. I mean, he nutmegs two players. Fantastic from him. Thought Saka's goal was outstanding, near post. Keeper didn't even move. Lacazette put in a real captain's performance. Like, he led that team. You know what? He looks a very good captain. He really does. No, honestly, man, he's looked a real good captain the last couple of weeks, man. I have to admit. And he's scoring goals now, which is the thing that we've questioned Lacazette with before. And like I said before, man, Pepe I've always felt there's a real talent there, and we've got to get the best out of him. I thought Partey played well. Listen, basically everyone in the team played well. It was a collective performance. Martinelli came on, could have scored as well. He looked bright when he came on. And the team should be really confident now, because I'm looking at that performance and I'm thinking, right, we had no Aubameyang, we had no Martin Odegaard, no Tierney, although Tierney could be out for the season. But, Odegaard and Aubameyang to come back. We've got a great opportunity now to build our confidence. We've got a decent run of games in the Premier League, to try and win and build momentum for that Europa League game. These players, and I've said this before, I think Arsenal have to win the Europa League this year. If we get knocked out in the semis, if we lose in the final, to me, that's no different from losing to Slavia Prague. I won't take positives by saying, oh, we got to a final or we got to a quarterfinal. We have to win this tournament. We've had such a bad year in the Premier League. The only way, to me, you can balance it is by winning this competition. Now, it will be difficult. Obviously, Mr. Good Evening is back for the semi-final, and he's going to...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll get onto that. I'll wait for that. But yeah, listen, my feeling is we've got to win this whole tournament to have a successful season.
Yep, I agree. And it was interesting that after the game last night, I had a few people come at me. I'm sure a few people came at me as well. I was saying, oh, listen, man, Arteta's vindicated. I'm like, yo, slow your roll, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I've said it before on this show. You've said it. We try to be as fair as we possibly can. It was a great result last night. Great performance. We got the job done. We're all encouraged, but come on, bro. Number one, as you said, it's Slavia Prague. You know what I mean? They're not what I would call one of the top sides in Europe or indeed in this competition. So many people would say we did last night what we should have done in the first leg. So let's not get carried away. It was a very good performance. They got the job done. So credit to the player and the managers for that. But at the end of the day, there's still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Tournament. And that brings me on very nicely to what I wanted to talk to you about next. And indeed, you dropped the clue bomb a little while ago. But yeah, Villarreal in the next round, managed by a certain Mr. Emery, who we know all too well. Now, listen, I would say that's going to be a difficult game, man, because I don't know too much about Villarreal. You'll probably know more about them than I do, and no doubt you'll be able to tell our viewers. But what I would say is if you've got a guy like Emery that managed a lot of these players, I was saying to you yesterday, Curtis, that he's probably, knowing Emery as we know him, he's probably prepared
right in his report already.
Yeah, on all the weaknesses and everything else to do with Arsenal's team. So that level of information that he's going to be able to provide to his players is going to make this a difficult game. And then, of course, there's so much riding it. It's a semi-final for both teams. Villarreal, decent side, we know that. They've got good history in Europe. And indeed, Emery's got a magnificent record in this competition. He's won it 3 times, got to the final with us. Okay, we didn't do so well. But he knows his way around. And he knows the players inside out. He's going to have a lot more knowledge of our players than Arteta is going to have of his, I would imagine. So that in itself is going to make the game quite difficult. Maybe even very difficult. But Curtis, what's your thoughts on that game, bro? Semi-final of the Europa League.
I mean, look, I look at it like this. I'll try and add some balance to the argument. Number one, Villarreal are 7th in La Liga, right? So they're not pulling up trees in the Spanish league, you know.
We're 9th in our league.
So. Well, yeah, we're 9th, but yeah. They've got a few players that we know that have been in the Premier League. They've got Etienne Capoue, who was at Watford. They've got Francis Coquelin, former Arsenal player. They've got Juan Foyth, who played for Tottenham, centre-back. He plays right-back, though, for them. They've got Raul Albiol, who played for Real Madrid, Carlos Bacca. Well, I mean, listen, I've watched Villarreal a few times this season, funnily enough. And what I would say is I think Arsenal are a better team than Villarreal. I honestly do. I think we're a better team than they are. But what I will say, they are a step up from Slavia Prague. They're definitely a better team than them. They've got a guy called Chukwueze, very quick Nigerian winger. They've got a guy called Paco Alcácer, who used to play for Barcelona. He's their striker. So they've got a few decent players. Obviously, Emery knows this competition so well. He's had a lot of success. Like you said, he knows Arsenal inside out pretty much. If you'd have offered me Villarreal in the semi-final at the start of the competition, I would have taken it. What I like about this tie is we play away first. Now, I prefer playing the away leg first. Some people prefer the other way around. Obviously, we just played the home leg first against Slavia Prague. We go to Spain first. If we can get a decent result there, bring them back to the Emirates, it goes in our favour. So, listen, I'm quietly optimistic. I'm not going to be saying nothing too public and, we're going to win this, whatever. It's a difficult game. Spanish teams keep the ball well. You know it's going to be different. But I would put us down as slight favourites. I honestly would. I look at that performance last night. What I like about Arsenal at the moment are attacking players who I felt were all struggling at the start of the season. They're starting to perform. Odegaard was playing well prior to the injury. Smith Rowe's playing well. Saka. Pepe's turned up to the party now. Lacazette's banging goals in. Martinelli's back, looks sharp. Hopefully Aubameyang comes back. Our attacking players are starting to play well. So, listen, Villarreal will be a more difficult game than Slavia Prague. But if we perform, I think we're the better team. And I think the final is there to be reached. It's down to these players and this manager.
Yeah, you make some very interesting points there. I mean, listen, in our last 2 games, we've gone like 7 goals for, none against, 2 wins. And like you said, certain vibrancy, a certain energy about the team that I'm liking at the moment. The young guys have provided that from the get-go anyway. But like you said, some of the more established players, like Pepe and Lacazette and people like that, they're starting to show good form now. You know what I mean? So, and even some of the replacement guys that have come in, your Holdings, for example, Xhaka playing at left back, they're performing well in their roles too. And of course, we still got players to come back. Odegaard hopefully will come back. So, yeah, I think I would agree with what you say there, bro. I think that is definitely a very winnable tie. But we do have to be cautious because, like I said, despite what happened at Arsenal, he is a good manager. He is capable. And like I said, he has an advantage insofar as he knows our players inside out, pretty much all of them. He's worked with them. And he will know intimately their strengths and weaknesses, and he will relay that to his team. And I'm sure he will try and devise a game plan to stop us. I don't expect Villarreal to come all guns blazing. It's going to be quite a tactical game. So Mikel's going to have to be on his game. He's going to have to come up with the appropriate tactics as well. But I'm actually going to enjoy watching that game. It's a lot of interest, aside from the fact that it's a semi-final, sort of England versus Spain, 2 big clubs coming out of their respective countries. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
And it's a game that I stop short of saying we should win. But I do agree with you that we probably will be slight favourites, and that is with some justification.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think it's massive that we're still in the competition because I think our season would have felt like it was over if we went out to Slavia Prague. With those league games, I don't think that would have kept fans that interested, trying to get 6th place in the Premier League. So, as we said, man, it's trust the process versus a good evening. So, I can't wait for that game. Really can't, man. It should be a great game.
Well, like you said, there was so much riding on that game against Slavia Prague because, as you've alluded to there, had we have gone out yesterday, the season pretty much would have been over to all intents and purposes. And just the bad vibe around the club would have been quite, well, I wouldn't like I hate
have been good.
It wouldn't have been good at all. There would have been recriminations. There would have been calls for the manager to be sacked, players to be sold. So that win last night gives us a little bit of impetus now. There's a bit more energy, a bit more optimism going into our future games. And it was basically, and I'm going to title the show this week, a save our season game, wasn't it?
It was, and 100%.
The guys, the manager and the players, they responded emphatically. So I was really pleased to see that, actually. Because I'll be honest and say that it's not all the time, put it that way, that Arsenal find themselves in a pressure situation and have come out of that situation and have done it, sticking their chests out and have accomplished. You know what I mean? Just the fact that they won handsomely last night. And I was very pleased to see that, given all that had transpired before the game as well, with the racism stuff, with Cadella and the statements that were being made. I think the eyes of the world were on that game last night. And to see them perform that well, to get a 4-0 win away from home in those circumstances, under that kind of pressure, I think that speaks volumes for the manager and the players on that particular night anyway. So
on that night,
right that way, man. Yeah. So yeah, I'm encouraged, man, and I'm sure you are too.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah, well done. We can be quite critical of the team and the manager when they don't perform, but we're fair. We like to think we're fair. So when they perform, we're more than happy to see that as well. So yeah, so well done for that. Okay, bro. So moving on then to Ops of the Week. This weekend, London Derby. Another big game. I mean, listen, some people are going to maybe not take that game as seriously as they might do, given what transpired against Slavia Prague. But, this is still an important game because there's still European places to fight for. And of course, Fulham, they're fighting for their lives to stay in the league. They're currently 18th. I mean, let's pull up some receipts on Fulham. I've got some here. Fulham, as things currently stand, they're in 18th place, which means they're in the relegation places. 32 games, 26 points. They've won only 5 this season, drawn 11 and lost 16. So, things are not looking great for them, although they have been improving in recent weeks, haven't they? Certainly in terms of the way they've been playing. In fact, they went on a little run up until a couple of games ago where they'd won a few games, a few scalps, and they were playing quite well. But I think it is still looking quite dodgy for them, really, isn't it? They still do look to me as if they might go down. But it's up down there as well. I mean, West Brom have had a couple of good wins as well, and so forth. So there's still a lot to play for. They will they will be hoping, won't they, that having got that win against Slavia Prague, that's somehow we're slightly distracted. Curtis, what's your thoughts on this game coming up?
Yeah, no, I was just looking at the table there. Yeah, they're 6 points behind Newcastle. Newcastle have got a game in hand. It is looking bad for Fulham. I have to admit, it's crazy. I've watched Fulham a few times this season, and every time I watch them, I think they play decent football. Scott Parker's got them playing well. They got a good team spirit. I just think they lack quality. I don't think they strengthen that team enough after getting promotion. So I'll be surprised if they stay up. But listen, at the moment, they're still going to fight for it. And like you said,
surprised there, isn't there? I mean, you got your likes of your Mitrovic up front. I didn't think he'd struggle this season to get.
Yeah, he hasn't scored that many.
No, he scored more in international duty than he scored for Fulham all season, hasn't he?
Yeah, but listen, like you said, 6 points, it's only a couple of wins. So they'll be hoping that Arsenal are still celebrating last night and they catch us on the hop. I think it's an important game still because we've still got to try and secure a Europa League spot in the Premier League. And also, it builds momentum. The last thing Arsenal want to do is, great, we beat Slavia Prague, go and get beat by Fulham at home. That isn't going to help. It's an opportunity to maybe rotate a couple of players, give someone else a run out, and look. I'm going to be interested to see what we do. I hope we win. I hope we play well, and it's a good opportunity for us to get 3 points. Let's be honest. Fulham at home should be a victory. It doesn't always work like that, but we should be beating them. So I want to see players like Lacazette keep up your momentum, score again. Pepe, keep up your play. And
do you think Willian might come into the team for this game?
I mean,
I'm kind of thinking that he will.
I mean, I wouldn't be in a rush to bring him in, to be honest. I think sometimes, it's good to leave players in when they're playing well. Sometimes you need momentum. I wouldn't mind Martinelli coming in. I think it's important to play him into form. Willian for me is at the back of the queue now, man. He had his chance earlier in the season. He played loads of games. We kind of know what Willian is now.
I did play one of his better games against Fulham, didn't he? Right at the start of the season.
Oh yeah, on that sunny day.
In an Arsenal shirt.
He probably was, yeah. You know what? After that game, I sat there. I thought, wow, what a signing. Free transfer. He'll get 10, 15 goals, you know. Since then, it went down a steep hill. But nah, listen, I would change a couple, but not too many. We haven't got the big. I'd like to see Balogun get a chance. You know, whether he starts, probably not. But I'd like to see him get, 20, 30 minutes. And I think Arsenal will win this. Confidence should be sky high. I know Fulham have had the week off. We've played in Europe. But I just think the confidence and this Arsenal team should be really starting to shine through now. And I think we'll beat Fulham.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Listen, we're at home. We're coming off the back of 2 very good wins, especially the one against Slavia Prague. But we shouldn't forget that we beat Sheffield United quite comfortably on their own ground. Like I said before, 7-0 in our last 2 games. And we got Fulham coming up. And let's be honest, man, it's not a game that will frighten us, is it? I'm more worried about focus.
Yeah.
We had that great win. Like you said, it's important not to get too carried away with that. Refocus efforts against a Fulham side that are going to be coming to win. They're going to be hoping that we're slightly off it for whatever reason. And we've got to be professional and get the job done. And I think they will do. I'm interested to know you talking about Balogun there. I think he might feature. I noted that Lacazette came off towards the end of the game yesterday. Personally, I would have liked to see him stay on because with the way he looked, how sharp he was, I could have seen him getting a hat-trick that last night. And that would have been great for him to captain the side and get the match ball. Would have been great. But anyway, he got subbed, and a lot of people at the watch-along were telling me that was strategic. They're saving him for the Fulham game. They can't afford any more injuries. So, yeah, I accept that. So, yeah, man, prediction time. What are you saying, Curtis, in this game?
I'm going to go 2-0.
You know you think you're going to win. How much are we going to win by and why?
I'll go 2-0. I don't think we'll hammer them. You know, I think Fulham will put up a strong fight. I do think we'll get the better of them. There may be a little bit of a Slavia Prague hangover. You know, the players probably only getting back today. So the game, you know, we haven't got loads of recovery time, but I think just a professional 2-0, get the job done, keep on ticking. And like you said, you know, a coach told me a long time ago, he said, good teams can win games, but great teams, they keep on winning games. You know, sometimes it's those games where there isn't a lot of motivation, there isn't a lot to play for. That's when you see how good a team is. Can you produce when all the cameras aren't on you type of thing? So I want to see Arsenal do a professional job. I'll go for a 2-0 win. I think we'll win quite comfortably.
I've got us winning by 2 clear goals as well, but I do think that Fulham will score.
Okay.
They'll be hungry. They'll be motivated. They'll probably start really fast. I don't think they'll be gung-ho, if you know what I mean, because they'll need to be cognizant of what we can do. So they'll try and keep it tight, but I do think that they'll be at us in their own little way. Like you said, they do play good football as well, Fulham. They're well managed, even though they haven't had the results that would suggest that. But I would argue that they're probably a better team than their placing suggests. I know that sometimes sounds out of sync, but yeah. So listen, I'm going 3-1. I reckon Fulham will get a goal, but we'll run out winners by 2 clear goals. I'll be very interested to see who starts up front. Lacazette looks very sharp, but Martinelli, he's looking sharper every time I see him. And then, of course, you know, you've got the likes of Balogun and maybe even Eddie to throw in there as well. So, yeah, man, I'm hoping that they are focused, they keep it professional. We've got a bit of momentum going, and I want to see them ride that out into the game coming up against Villarreal, which, let's face it, it's only in a couple of weeks' time, man. So you can't afford these little dips in form. You know what I mean? Yeah. We've got to keep it 100, man. So, yeah. But listen, man, we're coming to the end of the show now. Thanks very much. You've been honest and forthright, as I always say, as usual, which we appreciate that, man. Tell the people where they can find you.
Curtis Shaw TV, you know I'm at, people. Daily uploads, watch-alongs, all of that, man. You know where it is. And I have to say, Arsenal fans, man, we've had a rough season, so we have to enjoy this this victory. You know, you have to. We've had a lot of downs this season, so we have to enjoy the ups, man. Let's just hope we're lifting that trophy at the end of May. Yeah, man, it's definitely possible. And you know what they say, man, all's well that ends well. So if we do get to the end of the season and we're lifting that Europa League, a lot of all the stuff that's gone on before will suddenly
washed away with huge white of optimism. So yeah, man, let's hope that it pans out that way. But
Yeah,
thanks for coming on. Thanks everybody out there for watching. Really appreciate your support. Keep sending us your messages, your comments. We're really encouraged by this. Like I said, I got stopped in my supermarket the other day by a guy who randomly come up to me, and we was chopping up for a little bit, and he said that he really likes the show. He really likes what you got to say, Curtis, that you're honest and you speak your mind, and he appreciates that. So thanks everybody for tapping in, man. Smash the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, encourage your people to do the same. Take care of yourselves, keep yourselves healthy, well, and COVID free. And we see you guys next week. We're out.